Hey, it's Shirley B, and I believe we all have the power to change our lives for the better. And my goal is to help you believe and know that. Your mindset is your power, and change can sometimes feel overwhelming. So instead of focusing on all the huge things that you may feel you need to do in life, let's instead focus on small mindset shifts, small actions that anyone can take, so that little by little and piece by piece, you will change your life. Welcome back for you regular listeners, and welcome aboard to those of you who have just discovered this little podcast of ours. And I say ours because it's really all of you listening that make this podcast worthwhile. I'm just sharing my life experiences and things I've picked up along this life journey of mine, but it's the people I interact with on a daily basis that help feed into this podcast. And it's you, the listeners, that motivate me to keep going. So today I want to talk about choosing positivity. I'll be the first to tell you that it is a choice each and every day. And while my default is definitely more on the positive side, my dad always used to say I was born with rose-colored glasses and that I always saw the bright side. But there is no always in life. Yes, that may be my default, but life is life, and I'm human and lose my cool. And some days are harder than others to be positive and keep that smile on my face. And some days just feel downright impossible. So it's those days I want to talk about with all the little things you can do from the moment you wake up throughout your whole day, all the way to how you end your day and go to sleep, and how your choices along the way can help create a more positive default within you. It's with this consistent choosing that it becomes easier and easier. Your outside life may not change, but you can change the inside so that it can feel easier to deal with. So let's talk through this day and start with, how do you wake up? I bet you don't all wake up bouncing out of bed singing with the bluebirds in the background, and really that's why you're here. You probably wake up to an alarm, and first of all, do not, I repeat, do not hit that snooze button. If you hit the snooze button, you're already delaying the inevitable. You're already sending a signal to your brain and to your heart center that you don't want to face this day, that you don't have the energy to deal with it yet. Even if you are tired, hitting the snooze button really doesn't give you any more rest. Any small amount of sleep that you get between snooze alarms is not restful. It's very low quality because you don't have enough time to enter the deeper sleep that actually signals your brain and body to rest. And in fact, you're likely to end up less motivated and more groggy. So the first thing for a more positive day is not to hit that snooze button and just get out of bed. And if you need a push to get out of bed, try putting the alarm clock or phone in the opposite end of the room so it forces you to get up. Another method, if you really can't get out of bed, is one that Mel Robbins, who's an expert on change and motivation, came up with. She suggests using the 5-second rule. And this is where you lay in bed and you say out loud, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And on that one, you do whatever it is that you need to do, which in this case, it's getting up. The countdown actually creates a blast-off effect in your brain, like a rocket ship launching, where your brain is expecting something to happen once you get to 1. And it just can make it easier to get that movement going. Now, I mentioned putting your phone across the room. Please, for the love of all that is, please do not get into social media when you get out of bed. It's so easy to see what your favorite Instagram or TikTok persona is doing, but this is very unnatural light and it can screw with your circadian rhythm. So it'll be harder for you throughout the day and then harder for you to fall asleep at the end of the day. Get some real light instead, even if it's by a window with your coffee. The second thing is you can easily zombie scroll, which can then leave you feeling drained and rushed, and now you're in a tizzy to get going. Another thing is, if you're seeing all these wonderful lives on social media, and maybe you're comparing yourself or wondering why you're not at that level, why isn't your life easy like that? Well, it's all BS. None of us are going through life unscathed. Social media personas are only showing you what they want you to see. It's not their full life. It's not their real life. And why on earth would you want to start your day already feeling like you don't measure up? Your journey is your journey, and the only one you compare yourself with is yesterday's you, so that you can prove upon you in whatever way works for you today. So you're up. Now what? I'll share a little bit about what I do in the morning and what I would do, especially if I wasn't feeling my best to start off. I listen every day to the Calm app to a short Daily J by Jay Shetty, and it's a 7-minute breathing, sharing of knowledge, and meditation. And to be clear, I may share a few names, podcasts, books, etc., but I am not being paid by any of these. They're just things that helped me. So whether it's the Calm app or a free YouTube channel, and there's plenty of them, I do a short breathing, reflecting, and meditation. And you don't have to just sit with your legs crossed and take the time to do it that way. If it works for you, great. But you can do it in the bathroom. You can do it drinking your coffee or just sitting there. But that's how I start my day with my coffee, is to just set my intention and get my brain right. Now, for the days when I needed more, and this was a few years ago, and sometimes I still do this, when I really had some down days, I would force myself to be positive through music. And some of the songs that were on my wake up playlist, so I made a specific playlist just called Wake Up so that I could actually do that and get going. A few of them were Special by Lizzo. I started my day telling myself how special I am. I'm Okay by Lindsay Webster. It's a reminder that, as she says, after every up and down that I've faced, I know that I'm okay. Where You're At by Alan Stone is a soulful reminder that the best part of learning is just loving where you are at, no matter where that is. Who I Am by Win Starks is an incredibly strong song where he says, gotta be me, gotta be I, gotta be who I know I am inside. Being your authentic self and not hiding who you are is one of the most freeing things you can do throughout the day. Unstoppable by Sia, where she says, I'm so confident I am unstoppable today. And then once I'm set in who I am, I listen to a few songs that I don't know how anyone could not smile or move to these. I just naturally do, dancing around the kitchen. And yes, I look like a weirdo all by myself doing that. But they are so upbeat and happy songs. One of those is Daybreak by Barry Manilow. Just such a happy tune. Shine on Me by Dan Auerbach, and the chorus is simply an upbeat repetition of Shine on Me. And then finally, I Love Me by Megan Trainor, to remind myself, I love me. Yeah, I love me. I don't know about you, but baby, I love me. So after just listening to 15 or 20 minutes of music while you're getting ready, or maybe you listen to it in the car on the way to work, you're feeling it. You may not believe the words in the songs yet, but just feel the beat, feel the music, and keep singing those words. And eventually those songs may start to repeat when you need them throughout the day. I mean, those last couple of songs will do it for me every time. I really wish I could play some and even sing them completely off key for you, but with copyright I can't. So just go to any free source and check them out. Or find what gets you upbeat. Maybe it's Bob Marley. Maybe it's some screamo band. But whatever gets you moving and out of your head is another positive start to the day. Whatever music you listen to that you love, music has been proven to activate your brain's pleasure centers and gives you a release of dopamine, which, of course, is one of the essential happy hormones to help you feel better. Now, maybe you're stuck in traffic on the way to work, but instead of being stuck in traffic on the way to work or school drop off, choose to be something else. You don't have to just be stuck in traffic. Choose to be learning. Choose to be listening. Choose to be laughing. You can stay on some music, find some new artists maybe to listen to. I love how when I'm listening to something on Amazon or Spotify or whatever free app I'm using, they suggest, here's another artist you may like. And there's so many podcasts out there where you can learn about mindfulness, finding peace. Maybe you can learn a new language. Coffee Break Spanish is a great podcast that's so easy to get started, and it builds on each lesson. And they're just short little 20 minutes or so. Or maybe listen to a book that you've been dying to read. but you just feel like you have no time. But you have time wasted in traffic, so stop wasting it. Maybe listen to your favorite comedian and get in a few laughs before work or after dropping the kids off. All of these are helping you do something positive for yourself in what could easily be a negative situation in traffic. So now you're at work, or you're working from home, or you're at home as a working parent. And not only do you have work to do, you have schedules to keep, you're juggling 10 balls in the air, but now you've got all these emotions that everyone else around you is throwing at you. And maybe those around you didn't start their day like you did. Maybe they're already frustrated with their day and are now deciding to take their frustrations out on you. And this is where you need to try and enforce your boundaries. And I don't even say try, you really need to enforce boundaries. This is where you choose to say, thank you, no thank you. Thank you for your offer of talking down to me, but no thank you. Thank you for your offer of head games, but I choose not to accept this. I choose not to take ownership of this monkey from your back to mine. I choose not to let your negative emotions land at my feet, and I just choose to walk away from them. You may likely not be able to actually say this out loud, but you can say it in your mind. Let them rant. Let them do a dump and run of their emotional garbage, but leave it where they dropped it. You don't have to pick up everything that someone puts in front of you. Check your ego, and remember their garbage and treatment of you usually has nothing to do with you and has more to do with them, and you don't need to pick up the baggage that they are carrying. So now, maybe it's the end of the day. Maybe you're on your way driving home. Maybe you need to stop at the grocery store and pick up a few things. And of course, there's a line. And it doesn't matter which one you choose. It's still a long line and it still feels like it's taking forever. Being impatient isn't going to make it move faster and just affects you in a negative way. So maybe do some breathing. Box breathing is my go-to. Breathe in for 5 seconds, hold for 5, breathe out for 5, and hold for 5. Or pick any other number, 10 or below, that works for you. And you can do this all while people are around you and have no idea that you're calming your body and mind. And maybe simply smile at the person in front of you. If you didn't listen to the last podcast, I'll let you know that smiling will give you a hit of happy hormones that can increase your positivity, and it can do the same for the person you smile at. Being kind to another person can feel like a service to both of you and can leave you both feeling better. But now you're back in your car, you're dealing with even more traffic maybe, and all you want to do is get home, and everyone is feeling the same and maybe not being so nice and honking their horns, and you feel like they're attacking you personally. I challenge you to do what I do when I'm stuck in traffic. People are cutting you off, honking their horns, and I think of those horns as someone just saying hi. So I just smile and say hi. Honk. Hi. Honk, honk. Hi, hi. And if someone's coming up behind me and riding up close, I don't get pissed off and take it personally. I get it. I get if someone cuts you off and it's dangerous and you almost have an accident that you may want to lash out. But when did we start thinking that the roadway was our personal space and take offense to when people really just want to move past us? I just move to the side and say, I hope grandma's still alive when you get to the hospital. I know it sounds corny, but here are my choices. Allow someone to piss me off when I don't even know what their intention is. Are they really trying to annoy me? Are they just having a bad day as well? Do they really need to get somewhere important like the hospital? I don't know. And so rather than think that someone is purposely trying to push my buttons, I choose to turn it into a positive for me and smile and acknowledge them and their frustrations with a simple hi. And if that's too much, then instead of reacting with your fear and anger of that close call that they might have hit you, be thankful that you didn't actually get into an accident, that you and your loved ones are safe. And that's what you need to focus on, not your anger. Again, it's choosing to not allow negativity into my space and instead allow my body and my mind to feel more positive, grateful, happier emotions. And maybe on the way home, if you know you're going home to craziness with kids and dinner and homework and bedtimes, well, maybe you can take 10 to 15 minutes and stop along the way. Is that really going to make a difference for you getting home? Maybe stop at a parking lot and listen to some more music. Maybe keep a book in the car and read a few pages. Maybe just take a walk around the parking lot. But do something for yourself before you continue to take care of everyone else. And now it's the end of the day. You're exhausted. You're already thinking about what you didn't get done today, what else you need to do for tomorrow. And sometimes planning your day tomorrow is a good thing so that you can feel better with a plan. But if that's, you're thinking that all you have to do and what you've got to do tomorrow, what you didn't get done today, and you're feeling overwhelmed, then maybe that's not the best way to end your day. You need a good night's sleep, and running through your day and what you didn't get done or what went wrong can interfere with this. We focus repeatedly on what went wrong and so little time on what went right. When things go right, do you keep bringing them back up in your mind over and over again and keep celebrating them? I bet you don't. But when things go wrong, you keep bringing them up over and over, ruminating, creating a negative swirl in your brain. And it's not just you. We all do it. But how about before you go to sleep? You think about what went right in your day. What are you grateful for? Whether it's things you did for yourself, things you did for others, what someone did for you. Maybe it's as simple as your youngest didn't have a tantrum today and you'll take it. Maybe it's simply you got through the day the best way you could, and that's something to be grateful for. And maybe you plan your bedtime about 10 to 15 minutes sooner than you usually do, and focus on relaxing your body and mind. Just lay in bed. You could physically flex each body part and then relax it. Stay in gratitude with your thoughts and maybe play some more music. 432 hertz music is found to decrease your heart rate and blood pressure, which are both things that you need to fall asleep. It's said to also increase feelings of well-being and allegedly aligns with the heartbeat of the universe. Now, this may sound a little woo-woo to you, but what the heck, it can't hurt, right? Or maybe white noise, or brown noise, or pink noise, or whatever color of the rainbow noise you need to help quiet your thoughts and allow you to relax. That's what this is all about. Just doing what you need for your own peace and calm at the end of the night. So that's a day of choosing positivity. And don't beat yourself up when you don't choose well. Maybe you only chose one today, and the rest fell by the wayside. But at the end of the day, thank yourself for trying and celebrate your small wins. Find what it is that helps. There's so many free options out there to help create that calm and peace throughout your day, and love yourself enough to choose them. And if you know of someone that needs more peace and positivity, as I know you do, how about you give them something to choose by sharing this podcast with them? And you both can choose a new way, a better way, a more positive way in your journey, little by little and piece by piece. This podcast is based on my own life experiences. I'm not a therapist, a psychologist, psychiatrist, or any other licensed medical professional. Please share this podcast with anyone you think needs to hear this so that we all move forward, little by little and piece by piece. And thank you, Purple Planet, for sharing your music.